want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. We know that at this time, Satan is the prince of the world. When did he get this power, and what event caused it to take place? Well, this question is really based on a multitude of scriptures. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, it says that Satan is the god of this world. We also know that in Revelation chapter 1, verse 5, Jesus Christ is called the prince of the kings of the world. Revelation 11:15, the seventh trumpet sounds. It says, now the kingdoms of the world have become the kingdoms of our Savior Jesus Christ. And in Revelation chapter 19, it says, written on his thigh is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So this concept that Satan is, shall we say, the ruler of this current context known as earth has pretty strong scriptural implications. In fact, at the temptation in Matthew chapter 4, what does he tempt Jesus with? The kingdoms of the world. Jesus didn't respond with, they're not yours to give. Who do you think you are? He just said, get behind me, Satan. The question, though, is how did he receive this authority, this power, whatever it may be? Let's go all the way back, quote, pre-fall. Before, according to Ezekiel chapter 28, iniquity was found in his heart. He is described as the cherubim over the throne of God. Kind of the real casual way we've described it is that he was second in command. He was the vice president of the universe, whatever description you want to give. But he is one of only three, quote, angelic beings that are named in the Bible, the other being Gabriel and Michael. Michael, the archangel, Gabriel, the communicator, and Lucifer, the one who Ezekiel describes as over the throne of God. What's interesting is in the Gospel of Luke, it makes mention that when Satan fell, from the words of Jesus, that he fell to the earth. And you see that in Genesis chapter 3, when Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden, what happens? It says that old serpent shows up. According to 2 Corinthians chapter 11, beginning in verse 14, he can transform himself into an angel of light. I think one of the great theological questions that we have to answer is this. Was it the fall of Satan or the fall of mankind that led to the, quote, curse of the earth? The Lord said at the end of Genesis chapter 3 that it would be thorns that would be produced. Yet at the same time, it's a Garden of Eden, not a world of Eden. It's a specific place, not a generic place. And we know that Satan came from somewhere. And so I think, according to Romans chapter 8, verse 22, that says when sin entered the world, that all creation groans, is evidence that the fall of Satan, one time Lucifer, caused what we know as this death-dying existence known as earth that is crying out for the redemption that the Lord promises in Matthew chapter 19, verse 28. All that being said, how did he become the one who has authority to claim to give the kingdoms of the world? Unfortunately, I think it's his fall that led to it. And you and I have the privilege as humanity of not only being redeemed to our Savior and Creator, but one day returning with him when he redeems the earth from the curse of the fall. Great question. If you have one, send it to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.